Good morning. Welcome back. I hope this is going to be the beginning of a great week for you. I know it is for me. I am excited over the fact that we're going to be able to celebrate Easter in just a few days. I'm downstairs this morning because I wanted to show you a makeshift studio and work at home office and whatever else it happens to need to be at the moment. So I'm going to switch over and do a little camera magic here. Okay, I'll start with my sophisticated lighting system. Whenever I started to film something down here, I recognized that I was sitting in the dark, and so pulled out a ladder and a shop light and made a light. And then here is my workstation. And you'll also notice that it is filled with lots of other things. The wreath that we use during the Lenten season, right there. And then I also have a number of props that I'm going to be using for Thursday and Friday. Those are here also. So you'll see those a little bit later on in the week. Well, here we are. I don't know about you, but this house arrest is wearing me out. Now, whenever we started doing these devotions, I thought, now this is a great idea. It's a wonderful way for me to stay connected to you. I can bring hopefully some words of encouragement to you. And in reality, I thought it would last a couple of weeks and then we would be back to whatever normal looked like at that time. Well, we have passed up those 2 weeks and we're moving on. Who knows how long we're going to be doing this. A number of you have responded just with great encouragement. You have said, I hope you keep doing this. This has meant a lot to me. I look forward to what you're going to say in the future. Keep doing it, even after we get back to that normal. Well, I hate to tell you, it's not going to happen, or at least it's not going to happen the way it is right now. This thing is wearing me out. I tell you, my camera and I have what I would call a love-hate relationship. And for the most of the time, it's leaning toward the hate. I think it hates me. I get really nervous doing this, and I forget the things that I want to say. Sometimes whenever I have this camera up here, it'll cut off my forehead like this. Or there will be times I will be taping it and it's not even on and I didn't know it. I have to go back and do the whole thing over again. Then there are times where I'll get it all wrapped up, ready to send to Cliff, and it'll send an error message to me telling me that I've got that it's not going to work and I have to go back and do the whole thing over again. This isn't a pretty sight. And so whenever I say, I'm not going to be doing this every day, I think you can understand what I'm saying. One of the things I have learned about myself, I think I always suspected it, but it's sort of been underlined for me, is that I receive a lot more energy when I am around people than when I am by myself. Not everybody's that way. Some people receive that energy by themselves. And I know that working at home for a lot of people has some benefits, and it does for me too. But whenever we're doing this for a couple of weeks, I have to say it hasn't been energizing for me. In fact, it's been getting to the point where it's kind of draining. I would also say, thrown into that mix, is we've had some significant deaths in the life of our church family and our congregation in the last week. And two of those, as you know, were good friends of mine. And I still feel that cloud of grief hanging over me. And just kind of empty, I guess I would say. And you probably know what that's like because you've experienced that too. I was about ready to just hang all this up and say, forget it for a while. And then I remembered this passage where God says that my strength is made perfect in your weakness. And then I realized that's true. In my weakest moments, that's when He is the strongest. And that's when He's able to do the most. These may be weak moments for you. Times when you are at your lowest, times when you are the most confused or the most helpless or hopeless. And that's a wonderful promise for us to cling to, that God's strength is made perfect in those weaknesses of ours. I'm looking forward to what His strength is going to do for us this week and how He's going to work. I'm looking forward to our time of worship on Thursday and Friday when we commemorate the events in the last 24 hours of Jesus' life. And I'm also looking forward to what's going to happen on Easter morning. It's going to be a great time for us to be together. I want to remind you again on Thursday, bring something with you, have it set up so that we can have communion together. Doesn't have to be grape juice. It can be anything, just something to eat and something to drink so we can share in that moment together. I'm taking off tomorrow and Wednesday from doing this. I need a little break. I want to be able to have something good to say whenever we come back together. And so when we do, it's going to be great. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in a couple of days.